Hello and welcome to another devlog update for Spearhead. This month I've just been working on the infantry, fleshing out their movement a bit more. As I showed in the last update, I've got the group movement working so they're like choosing of their locations doesn't overlap and things like that. And now I've extended the command queue to multi-groups so I can do things like I send these guys up here and then these guys to here, and then I can do shift and do a multi-group move over to here. And these guys will, because they're in a move with these guys here, they'll wait and then they'll go. And that also goes down into the subgroups too, so I can choose a subgroup and give them some commands and give this subgroup some separate commands, and then I can add a full group move, and they won't go until they complete their subgroup commands like so. And the subgroups is just half the group basically. So if I alt select a group, I get 50% of the group. So like in the group with two, it'll just be one guy. So the other thing I've fixed up is the rotation. So the rotation was a bit flaky before, so I've got it going a lot better now. So it was using the wrong source location for the pivot point. It was sort of using their source position. So that all works now, and so if I've got the team of two on the left and I rotate it around, they still stay on the left, so they won't cross over. Just gives them a bit more smoother movement. I've added some different command types. I've got a tactical move type one, and I've got like a sprint one, just for adding those in. And they work with the command queue, so it's Alt for at the moment I've got Alt for the tactical move. So if I move these guys to here normally, and then I can hold Alt and Shift, move them tactically to there, and then Alt and Control, just the sprint one to there. They just all queue up. And that'll work later with when I have more commands. You'll be able to just queue the commands, and whatever the commands are, they'll execute. I had to implement a different modifier setup for that. So before I just had Alt, Control, and Shift sort of set up, and now I had to do combination of multipliers so that I could, because I wanted Shift to be the queuing mechanism. So if you want a command to be in a queue, then you'd hold Shift. So that if you want them to be in a slow queued command, then you have to hold Alt and Shift, and I really didn't have that built in, so I've added that. And the last thing I've done is I've just added a debug setup. So I've added it into the editor preferences, and I've just got some settings for the windows that I've got. So this shows me sort of the group states, what their state is on their state machine, and their queue. So you can see if I give them a command, navigating, and their queue's gone up to 1, and they've got a history of. I can set the max for the history, and that'll come in handy later when I go to undo commands and things. And yeah, if I do like Alt click, and see the speed is set to slow. Just been handy for debugging them. And if I zoom in, I start getting individual units, so I can check on what individual units are doing, what their state is. Which is pretty handy. If you're interested in seeing a tutorial on how to set that debug up in the editor preferences and do a setup like that, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, that's all I've got for this update. I'll see you in the next update or on Discord with my regular monthly updates in there. Thank you very much. See you next time.